once again, you have found NH Unscripted. And at the bottom of this mine lies a big, big man. Big John. I am your Jimmy Dean-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the spa-like conditions of the WKXL studios in Concord. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios. I have an 8 transistor. The rich kids all of the 16. 101.9 FM. That's for you folks in Manchester. Our URL is nhtalkradio.com. I need to thank the sponsor, Lakes Region Fence. They are up in Guilford. You know the story. Matt and his guys, they do incredible work. I say it time and time and time again. I've been on their sites, on their job sites. The stuff they do boggles my mind. Their website is lrfence.com, lrfence.com. You can go out there for a couple of reasons. One, there's a button where you can get a free estimate. And you know, you hit my age, free is good. Always cutting the coupons, looking for free stuff. Yeah, that's me. Senior discounts. Dunks gives me the senior discount. And so you can get a free estimate out there. You can also go see gobs and gobs and gobs and gobs of photos of their work out there. You know, it's summertime. You got a pool. You got to think about fencing that puppy in. And speaking about puppies, you don't like those lawsuits, do you, where your neighbor gets bit? Put up a fence. Put up a fence. They do property lines. They do sports courts. Come on. They do it all. lrfence.com. lrfence.com. That's Lakes Region Fence. We love those guys and all that they do. Matt, thank you for sponsoring this show. Speaking of entertainment, well, it is summertime. That means we're breaking out the barbecues. I happen to own a pit barrel myself for smoking my barbecue. And in the house is Rubin Lichtenstein. Steen?
Yep.
Good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
And Rubin, you used to tend to have a business that aligns with the barbecue business. Is that true?
I do.
Well, what would that be?
Rubin's Hot Sauce.
What?
Gourmet hot sauces.
What? Is each batch handmade?
Yes.
It is. Oh, I was joking. Is it?
No, it is.
Oh,
100%.
my God. So, all right, let's go. I met Rubin at Market Days in downtown Concord. And Rubin gifted me with a jar of his. It's non-labeled. It's like proprietary. It must be like top secret. It had no label on it. He gifted it to me and I took it home. Put it on my smoked pork. Gone. Put it on my rice. Gone. Dude, it came from heaven. I thank you so much for that. What was that one?
I believe I gave you the bourbon infused.
Oh, man. I know I felt bourbon infused. I'll tell you what. Mother of God. So let's get into the story here. How in the world did you even get involved with barbecue sauce?
Oh, well, that's a good question. And I would probably want to step back a little and give a little history of my kitchenware. So okay. When I was a kid, I used to help my mom cook in the kitchen. Now, my mother was from Sicily. Amazing chef. She went to chef school. And I remember she maybe cooked the same meal more than once in a month. That was it. So she had quite a repertoire of recipes, and I learned a lot helping her. And that became my love for cooking back then. As time went on, I became a sous chef when I was in college in a university in Kansas and helped with the kitchen there. So I picked up some skills in the kitchen there. But the rest, self-taught. Did a lot of study and watch a lot of recipe shows, cooking shows, and took me into when I lived in Virginia Beach, where I raised my family. In Virginia Beach, I was involved in a church. At the time, I was helping them with a lot of their functions. So I catered many functions, like 100, 150 people. And my specialty is Italian because my mother is Sicilian.
Huh.
She was Sicilian. She was from Sicily. Bless her heart. Lost my mom a few years ago.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
And So I would have like 150 people, and I'd have to in my own kitchen. I would cook like maybe 6 gigantic trays of lasagna, bring all the sides in a tray of salad, etc. And that got me set up for learning how to cook, to cater to. My own sauce was the key to those recipes, though. My marinara sauce. Everything from scratch, never from a bottle. The only thing that comes from a bottle is the tomatoes, because it's kind of hard to grow enough tomatoes and bottle them to handle the amount of cooking I was doing. But I have done that. So anyways, the sauce is the key to the putting the lasagna together. The rest is just a matter of how to assemble it in the right way and having the right ingredients. Never settled for fake ingredients. Never settled for always whole meat ricotta, whole meat mozzarella. So anyway, leading to how I got involved in the hot sauce business. My wife and I, before we got married, we would travel a lot from Connecticut, where I used to live, and we would travel to New Hampshire and Vermont, which is kind of what brought me to New Hampshire, because I'll get into that briefly later. And I would always stop at all the stores that sold hot sauce. Could never, ever find a hot sauce that I liked. Typically, hot sauce is vinegar, salt, pepper, and peppers, and that's about it. That's most hot sauce. And then I found a Melinda's hot sauce, which had a habanero mango. And I looked at my wife. I said, I'm going to try a recipe out of this. So at the time, we were involved in a ski house in Killington, a big ski house with like 20 members. It's a share house. It's kind of an old fogey frat house, in my opinion. So I was trying out my hot sauce on everyone there. So the first time I tried making my own hot sauce was about 2015, and I got from Amazon a kit to make hot sauce. It came with
sell kits.
Yes, yes,
all right.
And it had a bunch of dried peppers, dried herbs, dried spices. You mix it with vinegar. You mix it with tomato paste. You cook it up. You bottle it. Terrible. Horrible. So I said, that's it. I'm going to start my own sauce. I'm going to make my own sauce from scratch myself. I know how to make sauce. I make the best Italian marinara there is. So I took the mango habanero concept. I added pineapple. I added maple syrup. I added salt, pepper, lots of different spices, lime juice. It's all the ingredients are on my label. And the key was how hot to make it. Blending the flavor with the spices just right. So it took a little while to get it right. I practiced on my ski house for a couple of years. I was bottling it, my own little label, and I was giving it away for Christmas gifts, Hanukkah gifts, etc. One day, a bunch of friends, I passed out some bottles, and a bunch of friends, we were together having a little get-together, and they said, Rubin, stop giving away that sauce. You need to sell it. This stuff is, awesome. So I said, okay, I'll do that. So it was about 2018, opened up an LLC. I had started my own company many times. I had a construction company. I had a high-rise window cleaning company. Never anything with food. I always wanted to. My father always encouraged me to have some kind of a restaurant or something, but never did that. So this is the closest thing to what me and my dad envisioned me doing later on. So I opened up my LLC. I lived in Stamford, Connecticut. I got the labels. I got all the licensing. You have to send your food to a lab to get it tested, make sure it's pH balanced. So that basically means that nothing will grow, no organisms will grow in your food, and it's shelf stable, basically forever until you open it, and then you want to refrigerate it. Mostly, you want to refrigerate it so you capture the flavor. You keep the flavor intact. Otherwise, the flavor will be compromised if you leave it out. So, anyways, I started passing it around. I was in many different markets, many different restaurants were using it on their tables and selling it. And
all right, hang on there. Ooh, he's got me. I love hot sauce. You are listening to NH Unscripted. We are the riders of the storm. I am your Doors-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the Six Flags-like conditions of the WKXL studios in Concord. That'd be 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony Walkman, 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. Our URL, because we are cool kids, NHTalkRadio.com. Rubin Lichtenstein is in the house, and we're talking hot sauce. We'll be right back. Summer in the city. Mother of God, it's NH Unscripted. I'm your loving spoonful-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the Hollywood Squares-like digs of the WKXL studios deep in the heart of Concord, New Hampshire. And you are listening to us 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony Walkmans. 101.9 FM for the beautiful people in Manchester. Our URL is NHTalkRadio.com. We're talking hot sauce, and Rubin is giving me some good tips. So, you just started, you got your LLC, and this is 2018, and you're about to go worldwide somehow. Finish that story. How do you, because I know COVID's coming up.
You said it. I was about to say, what happened in 2020?
Let me think.
I literally had orders for,
of course,
pallets of hot sauce. I had one restaurant, he called me up, this guy says, I tasted your sauce in Killington, Vermont, where I was really rocking and rolling there too. He goes, I literally opened up a restaurant just to sell wings with your sauce. Can you get me 50 cases? This was literally 2 days before COVID lockdown. So
I'm about to cry.
Yeah, I was crying. So I did actually run into him a few years later, and I said, whatever happened to your restaurant? He goes, yeah, lost it.
No.
Jersey City. He goes, I didn't lose any money. I sold the property. Someone else bought it, but I'm not doing it now. He goes, that's a shame. We would have sold a lot of sauce for you. So that was one of many examples of how COVID really caused some issues for me, as many other people, especially in the restaurant industry, as we all know. So, anyways, I did bounce back. I teach skiing in the winter in Killington Mountain Resort. So when I was there, I started promoting it to all the bars in Killington, and I was promoting it to the bars that were not in Killington and the whole Vermont, the area around Killington, Rutland, etc. Things took off from there. I actually have a brick and mortar store in Lookout at Killington on the Access Road right before you get to the resort. I do, and we sell a lot of hot sauce there. And the restaurant attached to it uses my sauce in their recipes. They actually have Rubin's Wings as one of their features. So I'm going to step back a little bit, back up. So when my wife and I moved shortly after COVID, we moved to Nashua, New Hampshire. We were searching for a home. We got really lucky before the prices really went high and before the interest rates went up. We actually locked into a beautiful home that we live in now in Belmont, New Hampshire. We live on a golf course. It's pretty awesome. And yeah, I do golf. I'm not good. I always tell people if I could golf half as good as I could ski, I'd be a force to be reckoned with. But I have fun.
Yeah.
And I usually need about a beer or two just to get out there and golf because I get really stressed out when I miss the first ball, which always happens. Now you know.
The truth is out there.
So like I was saying, we moved to New Hampshire, and my wife and I started at a place called Barnstead Farmers Stand, where every week we would sell our sauce, set up a tent. It was a really small place, like maybe 10 vendors, and after the first year of doing that, I was like, there's got to be a better way of spreading the word and selling my hot sauce. If I'm going to get out there and sell it, I need to get out there and sell it. So what happened was we're driving in Tilton, and we saw a market craft show going on in the outlet mall there. So I said, let's pull in and see what's going on. We pulled in. I saw the woman, her name's Joyce Endy, who has Joyce Craft Shows. She's been doing it for like over 30 years.
We go to a lot. My wife loves craft shows. I think we go to a lot of hers.
Yeah, me and my wife love them too. We loved it enough to sign up with Joyce. And next year, 2022, I was in every one of her shows. I couldn't believe how much hot sauce I could sell in a weekend. I mean, we're talking cases and cases and cases. So I actually started finally making money selling it instead of just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
And that led us to the next year. I started branching out. I went to many other states. I was in the Neptune Festival in Virginia Beach, Virginia. We did the Christmas show at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. I did the Sandwich Fair, and I got my eyes on some even bigger events. I'm trying to get into the Big E. 1.6 or 8 million people in 17 days.
I got a story in a minute. Go ahead.
Everyone I've talked to that is in it and has done that show has sold out all their product.
Yes, it's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'd love to hear your story.
So quickly, I had, for a few years, I had a gourmet applesauce business. And we did a lot of trade shows. We did a lot of hands-on. We'd go into the stores and we would actually cook it right there so that the fragrance of the applesauce would fill the stores and stuff and draw people right in. Anyway, we got invited to the Big E, and if you're lucky, you get to do your thing on the end. It's like a stage, and as people literally get off the buses, plural, and that's the key, you are right there as they come in. And if you've got free samples and all this kind of stuff that, they will wipe you out. We were not anywhere near prepared. I mean, I had cases and cases of applesauce. We had a little cooking stuff there so you could smell it. Dude, I think they gave us an hour. In 15 minutes, we were out of everything.
Wow.
Everything.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. And we were scrambling to figure out what to do. And as fast as we could cook it, and, we couldn't really bottle it there because our process, we had these special jars that had to be canned specially and stuff. And so we couldn't even cook it and give it away. What we were doing at that point was just putting out little paper cups and letting people just try it and, give them a card and let them come back later. 15 minutes. I've never seen so many people in my life. Dude, it was like a mass exodus. Like there was a fire outside. They were trying to get them all filing by. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'd like that problem.
I'll bet you would.
That's a problem I'd like to have.
Yeah.
When I went to the Mohegan Sun, it just wasn't cut out to what it was promoted as, which was you'd run out of product there. It just wasn't that great. Everyone I talked to that was there basically said in the past it was.
When did you go there?
Last year.
Oh.
Yeah.
I went and saw
So
Frankie.
before, a lot of things before COVID were huge, big, gigantic, and after COVID, a lot of things have not bounced back.
Yeah.
I heard the Big E's the same. It's always incredible.
It's unbelievable.
So I have a licensed kitchen. I don't own it. It's called Genuine Local in Laconia. Hats off to them. They're great. They now cook my sauce, label it, bottle it. Because all your sauce, when you sell it commercially, has to be through a licensed kitchen. You can't just make it in your kitchen unless you get your kitchen license, which you can do. I didn't want to because I don't have the time to do that, market it, and everything I'm doing to build a company. So anyways, I want to talk a little bit about the recipes now that I'm talking about the kitchen. So what you do when you get a kitchen is they sign a NDA with you. And I plus my I am what's it called where you get it I can't even think of the word, but I have a
It's okay.
It's anyways. So my recipes, I have 6 recipes right now. I want to talk about the product. So in the product, I started with the original sauce. It's called the original because that's what put me on the map.
Yep.
And that the base of that again is mango, pineapple, maple syrup, lime juice, spices, and a couple of secret things that I put in there.
Huh? A little proprietary.
Yeah. Then I added bourbon to it. And the reason I added bourbon was because I do a lot of cooking with bourbon, and I just knew that the bourbon would give it a sweetness and give it that bourbon flavor. And if you take the bourbon and you mix it with chili or you mix it with your barbecue, you're in for a nice surprise.
So of all the... Let's park here just for a second. So of all the different liquors that you could have added... Did you choose bourbon because it's one of your favorites, or just because you knew that, oh, man, how can that be? Rubin, before we go into the next, give me your website.
It's rubinshotsauce.com, RUBINS hotsauce.com.
Rolls off the tongue. Yeah, baby, you are listening to NH Unscripted, where a bad moon is on the rise. I am your Creedence Clearwater Revival-like host, Ray Dudley. You are listening to us, 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. Those are Concord-based on your Sony Walkman. 101.9 FM in Manchester. And our URL is nhtalkradio.com, because that's where the cool kids hang out. Rubin's talking to me about hot sauce. I got a lot of questions, fam. We'll be right back. Unscripted. Yes, you lucky listeners. Gimme some good lovin'. I'm your crazy elephant-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the Hollywood Square-like digs of the WKXL studios, where I reside at the center square, like old Paul Lynn used to do. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM in Concord. 101.9 FM for the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful souls in Manchester. We love you. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL, and Rubin and I are talking hot sauce. Rubin, I have a million questions, but you did bring up an interesting connection. Why don't you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure, Ray. I noticed you have some Monster Energy on your
maybe I do
setup here.
Maybe I do.
So I'd like to just say my hot sauce will give you a lot of energy.
Oh, what a plug! Excellent segue. Beautiful, beautifully done.
So we were speaking at the break about how I got involved with the Boy Scouts and selling my hot sauce in Connecticut. I was at my friend's birthday party at one of the breweries there before I moved to New Hampshire. And he said, hey, I want to introduce you to the CEO of the Connecticut Boy Scouts. He's interested in talking to you about selling your hot sauce as a fundraiser. I said, yeah, twist my arm.
I have no idea how does that even happen? You're at a bar? You're at a...
And it was his birthday party. He's a very connected guy. He does a lot of Amazon sales, and he's a bigwig in Amazon. And he told me his buddy was the CEO of the Boy Scouts. He happened to be at his party.
Oh my God!
So he introduced me to him. We shook hands, and first thing out of his mouth, so Rubin, how would you like to do a fundraiser with the Scouts of Connecticut? I said, let me think about that for a second. Okay. So they put in an order.
Yeah.
But to make a long story short, I worked with them on designing a private label So it's got the Scouts of Connecticut label on the hot sauce, and it's kind of the segue here is that I talked about the first two flavors, which were the original and bourbon.
Yeah,
and that's what I proposed for them to sell, not do all the flavors that I had at the time, which
like
were only
mimosa.
4.
What is that one? What? I'm talking about. I'm thinking the Girl Scout cookies, but
well, we have 6 flavors, and I'll
So wait, I will do. I want to finish this story with the Boy Scouts.
Okay, so
go on.
So we got the design label, and then we set up a couple of events where I met with all of the Scout leaders, and this was also, by the way, COVID was still happening.
Oh.
So everything we were doing was, and the Scouts was still happening too, though. They didn't close down. They just had to do all the COVID crap. So what we did was we did virtual meetings, through whatever. I don't even remember the platform we used. They had a platform. And I trained. I did the training. And then the first event that I did with them was a game dinner. So the Scouts would bring all their friends, and their parents would bring their friends, I should say, who were into hunting and game and things like that. And they had chefs there that prepared all the food. So what I did was I put my hot sauce out at all the tables. So people would put the hot sauce on their food. So if you had a weird thing like elk or venison or whatever, squirrel, they would put it on, and it guaranteed that they wouldn't dislike the food because my sauce is that delicious. So then at the end
was
of
this like a blind tasting? Did they know?
Yeah.
Was there a label on it at the time?
There's a label. There's a label,
so
but no one had heard about it. This is the first introduction to the Scouts.
Yeah.
They already purchased the product. We had it there, and I had to start selling it for them because I told them, I said, I'll tell you what, I will help you sell it. And I did. So then at the end of the dinner, or during the dinner, I went up, did a little 5-minute talk, and then I had a table set up where I sold a lot of the sauce that they had purchased from me. And the way we did it was they bought it even below wholesale because I wanted to help the Scouts raise money.
Ooh, wow.
So they bought it below wholesale. We sold it at retail there, and they collected all the money. It was theirs because I got paid for my product, so basically cost plus.
Yeah.
And that was the first of many events. Then they had a big Scout event the next year in the summer. It was about 2,000 Scouts there. Oh, my God, what a great day that was. We just sold and sold and sold and sold.
Man, oh, man.
I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
So you probably think, well, the Scouts got tired of selling popcorn, which they did, and that the troop leaders and the parents were the ones that bought it. No. I had so many Scouts, they'd come up to me and they'd say, let me taste it. They taste it. I need a couple bottles. Well, is this for your dad? Heck no. This is for me.
What? All these kids were buying it?
They loved it.
Oh, my God.
And that's what really helped the surge.
Wow.
So I'm currently in talks with, I met some of the troops in town at Market Days from New Hampshire, and they're going to be getting in touch with me. They were seriously interested in doing the same thing I did with them in Connecticut. And I'm also hoping I can reach out to some of the other states. I talked to the CEO of Virginia when I was in Virginia Beach at the Neptune Festival last year. So there's a lot of interest out there, and I see that as a great fundraiser. What a great thing.
What a connection.
So you said you had some questions.
Yeah, I do. First of all, the Scouts have come a long way because when I was in the Scouts and we had a jamboree, we were eating skunk cabbage, literally. Look, you've ever had skunk cabbage? It's nasty stuff.
Turtle soup.
Yeah. We were not putting hot sauce on anything. So when you were first starting out, you had to make a leap from home cooking, right? I assume you did most of it in the early days in your home.
Sure.
And then you had to go to the commercial kitchen. Mm-hmm. Did you have to hire a chemist and stuff to take care of?
So the first thing
you can't just
I got you. The first thing that I did was I actually couldn't even cook it in my home. I wasn't allowed to, according to.
Oh, yeah, that was Connecticut, right?
So in Connecticut, I had to rent a licensed kitchen.
Got you.
So I rented the kitchen, and even the first batch that I ever made, I had to send it to Cornell University in New York.
What?
Yes. So they have food techs there. They're doctorates in food.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, I am too. So they have a doctor's degree. They're a PhD. That's what they're schooled in, how how to serve food safely. And the other thing I did was I got my Serve Safe certification, which I just recertified this year. It lasts for 5 years. It's basically how to make sure everything you're doing from start to finish, you're safe, and you're never going to harm anyone, because that's your number one priority, is to have a safe product. So anyways, then after that, when I got the approvals back, which was very exciting, I got my patents and copyrights, which I couldn't think of before.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I got my trademark. Rubin's Hot Sauce is trademarked. And then the next thing that I did was I had to send my sample to a nutritionist. So what they did, I don't even know what they do. They just sent me back the ingredients. I mean, you would think the ingredients, like vinegar's not, or ketchup. I don't put ketchup in my hot sauce, but ketchup isn't just ketchup. Ketchup's vinegar, ketchup's this, ketchup's that.
Yeah.
So my original label was like 2 feet long. I just went ahead and summarized it all.
Yeah.
So then I had to get someone to design the label,
yes,
and to design my website. So a friend of mine who I knew for many years called me up. He says, "Rubin, I love your sauce. Let me do the work for you." So Ali Bay, Advent Online, he lives in Florida now. For the first 5 years of my company, he was the guy that did all that for me.
The design work and everything?
Everything. Did a great job.
Your logo, all that?
All of it. Dude. Now, I sent him all my ideas,
yeah,
and he took them and digitized them.
Yeah.
So my original, if this was TV, I'd have a picture of my original design. It was pretty funny. It was a baseball flying through the air with a trail of heat.
Okay.
I'm from New York, so Aaron Judge was in my mind at that time, because when he hits the ball, it's him and Giancarlo Stanton are hit it the hardest in the whole MLB. Something like 114 miles an hour. Man. Yeah, it's amazing. So I think that answers the question somewhat.
So he designed your logo, designed your website, and now what's your logo? Oh, so your logo is basically your product.
No. Well, that's not my logo.
Okay.
That's what I have on my banner in my tent. I actually have a customized tent now that was, I had someone do all the artwork on the tent that I designed. And
stands out from a million miles away.
It's yellow.
Yeah. You see it from
You did see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, it's getting redone right now because I wasn't happy with it. So they're redoing it. And the new tent that I bought already broke.
Oh, man, the time flies. Rubin, put a pin in that. Here's some dance shoes. We got to dance out to a break. Woo! You are listening to NH Unscripted. Have you ever seen the rain? That's Creedence Clearwater Revival again. I'm your happy to be out of bed host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the YMCA-like digs of the WKXL studios. Yeah, we can smell the pool chlorine from here. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. That's Concord based on your Sony Walkman. 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. We will be right back. Man, the time goes by. We are talking hot sauce. Welcome back to NH Unscripted with me and Bobby McGee, and I am your Janis Joplin-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you 1450 AM, 103.9 FM in Concord. That's on your transistor radio. 101.9 on FM in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. And let me just stop right there and say, if you go out to NHTalkRadio.com, there's a button out there where you can listen to all of our programs live. This show happens to come to you Wednesdays and Fridays at 9 a.m. And when you're up at about 2 or 3 in the morning and you're putting Rubin's hot sauce on the leftover wings, hey, go out there, NHTalkRadio.com. Everything's archived, and I think I need to hear Rubin and Ray one more time. Yeah, that'd be the place where you go. All right, enough of that. Rubin, You are a very busy man, my friend. So I'm not going to get to all the questions I wanted to. So let's get into like your schedule and things that are coming up and all of that. Give me your website one more time before I forget.
RubinsHotSauce.com, RUBINS hotsauce.com.
That's where the love making happens. Just saying. All right.
I did want to just briefly talk about the recipes. So there's 6 flavors right now.
Okay.
So we talked about original and bourbon.
We did.
Which the Boy Scouts have taken under the belt and sell it with their private label.
Good for them.
Then I added Inferno, which I basically, my peppers were all Carolina Reaper,
Okay.
which at the time was the hottest pepper in the world. But since then, I realized a lot of people like it medium hot, not hot, or extra hot. Mm-hmm. So I took the spice. I added spicy barbecue, my own barbecue recipe. So basically, my barbecue sauce I combined with the bourbon infused. So the bourbon has bourbon in it. Now the barbecue has bourbon in it.
What?
Bourbon's amazing. It's always my number one seller at all the festivals because it's medium hot. You could cook it and serve it to everyone, and no one's going to like freak out from the heat. They're not going to go into a convulsion like the chip challenge. By the way, that's the problem with hot sauce, in my opinion, and which is what got me into this whole business. Hot sauce is hot. It tastes like garbage most of the time. When it's really hot, you lose the flavor. Our goal and our motto is crave the flavor. That's Rubin's Hot Sauce's motto. Crave the flavor, and the perfect balance of heat and flavor is the key. And there is a company that advertises that on the radio, Melinda's, and we are on the same page with Melinda's. I totally agree and support them 100%, and they're the ones that excited me about mango habanero, which was the first recipe I started to branch off from. Then I added pineapple, added maple syrup, which I source locally in New Hampshire. All of those recipes, all of those flavors pair with all foods. But on my website, if you click on the Inferno Man, you'll get a bunch of recipes for barbecue ribs,
Yes.
Rubin's ribs, Rubin's wings, Rubin's baked beans. It's just and other of my friends who are chefs have sent me recipes that we put on the website, ceviche, different things. So moving into the last thing I really wanted to hit on, and I'm hoping that, and I'm always looking to network and find people that are interested in talking to me or helping me or move me to the next level, which is basically right now I sell by the case. 12 bottles to a case. When I go to any kind of an event, any kind of a craft show, basically, how many cases can I sell this weekend? 10, 15, 20. And that's great. I'm making money. I'm paying my bills. I drive a nice truck. But I see it bigger. I've always been a see it big kind of guy. Keep it simple, see it big. And I'm looking at selling it by the pallet.
The pallet.
Yes, national distribution.
Woo!
That's my goal.
Baby.
I mean, I've already reached out to BJ's. I've reached out to Trader Joe's. And a lot of time, and I am in a Hannaford's, or it's a Stop and Shop, but it's owned by Hannaford's. In Wolfboro, unfortunately, they burned down. Someone asked me if my sauce was the reason they burned down. I said, depends. If they... I forgot to mention all the flavors. So it's Inferno and Nuclear. I came out with Nuclear.
What?
Yes. Now, Nuclear has got Carolina peppers, but the new recipe has the newest, hottest pepper in the world, Pepper X. Now, on the Scoville scale, real quick, I'll say the Scoville scale goes like this. Jalapenos, 2,500 Scovilles. 2,500. 2,500.
Okay.
All right. Habanero, 85,000. Scorpion Trinidad, about 1.1 million. There's others that rove around that amount. Carolina Reaper, 1.5 to 2 million. So there is a variation depending on where it's grown and how long it matures and that kind of thing. I used to grow my own Carolina Reapers, by the way. Yeah. Don't ever eat them raw. Just saying.
Pro tip.
Yes, big pro tip. And then the hottest pepper now is 3 million Scoville. That's the Pepper X.
Come on.
So in North Carolina, there's actually a farm, and they've been they're the ones that came out with the Carolina Reaper. It's a hybrid mixing different peppers. And when they mixed them, they came out with a hotter one, and they called it Carolina Reaper, North Carolina. Then they came out with Pepper X. I just got the Pepper X in the mail.
You did?
I did, because it hasn't been available. I've been looking every week. Finally, someone had it for sale. So it came in little 2-ounce vials.
Mother of God.
It's fairly
wow.
So I haven't made
bones on it. I mean,
so my goal is to replace the current nuclear, which, by the way, I came out with that recipe for the 100th anniversary of the Laconia Bike Week.
Oh, that's cool.
I introed it there, and all the bikers and all the people that were there just loved it. Buying it by the case. Food trucks love it. By the way, whenever I'm at a place and there's food trucks, I put a squeeze bottle there, and people put it on their food, and they come over to my yellow tent.
Smart.
So my goal is to replace the current nuclear with the Pepper X, because there's people that, believe it or not, even with the nuclear I have now, there's people that say it really needs to be hotter.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, we need to meet those people.
Oh my gosh. So I'm going to have a new products coming out this fall. 2 new products. One's a spicy marinara sauce. Yeah, I make the best marinara.
Man.
And then the other product is... you know the difference between a Bloody Mary and a Bloody Caesar?
I do not.
Yeah, most people don't. Clam juice. So I have a contingency in Canada, a bunch of friends that come to our ski house in Vermont every winter. And I was talking to them about how I was going to introduce a Bloody Mary mix, Rubin's Bloody Mary mix. And they said, no, you don't want to do that. I go, what do you mean I don't want to do that? You want to do a Bloody Caesar. I go, well, why do I want to do that? They go, hey, who do you know in the United States what liquor store, what supermarket sells Bloody Caesar? I go, I can't think of anyone. They go, exactly. Get the corner on the market. So I'm giving away a little trade secret here right now.
It's just you and me.
So I'm going to have a Bloody Caesar, and then next year I'm coming out with a blueberry maple, and that's because I do some things I do shows in Maine, so I want to cater to them.
Man, Rubin, I don't even know where to start, and I know I don't have enough time here. So each of those products, you have to go through that whole startup thing again, where you got to have it. You got to introduce it to people. How do you like it? How do you not like it? What's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, everything. And then you got to go through the whole process again of labeling and packaging and cooking. And oh my God, man! Wait, so where are you cooking now?
Genuine Local in Laconia. Certified kitchen. They actually do the cooking for me. They cook it, bottle it, label it, and drop ship it to my office. I have a hot sauce room in my house in the basement.
Of course you do. Man, oh man.
Pallets and pallets.
Oh my God. So where are you going to go from here? I mean, so how do you said Trader Joe's, and did you say BJ's?
I don't really have anything lined up yet.
Yeah.
I'm in the process of networking right now and trying to find the next my first national distribution chain.
Yeah,
I'm happy. I'm in New England. I'm working with. I have some good leads for Hannaford's and things of that nature. 5, 10, 15, 25, 50 stores.
Yeah.
And I have some friends that are distributors, so they're helping me maneuver through it. But that's what I'm working on. And I want to shout out, which I forgot. I don't want to run out of time. Shout out to my wife, Marla, who
hey, Marla.
Marla helps me a lot with this. She set my bookkeeping up for me. She's an accountant, CPA. So, Marla, love you.
Woo, we all love you, Marla. We all do. No, oh my God. How does this happen? How does this happen? Rubin Lichtenstein is in the house talking hot sauce. Your website again, one more time, my friend?
RubinsHotSauce.com. RUBINS hotsauce.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, Rubin's Hot Sauce.
Rolls off the tongue, baby. Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you love us. You are listening to NH Unscripted. I am your Tony Orlando-like host, Ray Dudley. You are listening to us 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony Walkmans, 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. Days like this are why I love getting out of bed. Rubin, thank you, my friend. We'll see you on the next one, folks.